What is going on, everyone?
I'm Fred.
And I'm Josh, and today we're going to be doing the ultimate top 10 hottest ramen noodles 2019 edition.
However, this time we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of just describing each item in however many words we want to use, we're only going to be using 10 words for each item on our list.
Really? Just 10 words?
Yeah, just 10.
Oh no.
You arsehole.
Right, now me and Freddie haven't seen each other's top 10, so this is going to be the first time we actually reveal this. So Freddie, why didn't you be the first one to reveal your number 10?
Okay, so my 10th item is the original Samyang.
Okay.
Samyang original.
Is that the hot chicken?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the original Samyang. It's our first video. I'd say I could probably eat it now. At this point, I could go back. The flavour was nice, but it was always too hot. But now, since I've tried so much hotter stuff, I could probably go back to and actually enjoy it as just like a meal.
Right.
So yeah, that's my number 10.
All right. My number 10 was the PALDO octopus ramen.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
So I put that down as a little bit lower than the Samyang hot chicken. Some of these challenges that we did, we should have actually recorded it actually. The eating was the first part of the real challenge.
Then the ring sting.
But I feel with the PALDO, it was actually quite a pleasant challenge for me personally. So I couldn't say that was like an extreme heat or anything like that. It was hot, but yeah, it kind of went away after the first take. So yeah.
That makes sense. Now we move on to number 9.
Number 9.
Because my number 9 is the Samyang ice.
Ooh.
I have to say, when I was in that pool, just everything. It was I would say it's probably as hot as the original Samyang, but because I was really cold and the noodles were really cold and the dry ice, I was just like, oh, and my whole system just didn't know what to do. So it was really hot, yeah.
I have to say, yeah, that one, that was just a mixture of, you know, different temperatures, different emotions, to be honest. I didn't know how to feel really, whether I was either going to be too cold, but then my mouth was also burning from the heat of the noodles, so yeah, it was a kind of a mixed feeling. But yeah, I think overall that challenge itself was, I'd say, more extreme compared to our standard eating contest. My number 9, okay, I'm now going into Samyang hot fire chicken.
Okay.
So the reason why is I think there's always been this kind of original debate whether the PALDO octopus ramen versus the Samyang hot fire chicken. It was our first ever challenge, so you kind of remember that a bit more.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think it gave me the first hit, whereas then the second time we did the PALDO octopus, I was getting used to it, so maybe that plays a part in the whole thing. So yeah, I'm giving that number 9. On to number 8.
Yes, my number 8 spot goes to Samyang stew.
Oh really?
Yeah, Samyang stew is my number 8. Like the thing, and you'll see it in the video. The thing about the Samyang stew, it was fragrant. It had like a smell. It was like dipping my nose into like you know those like Johnny Depp Sauvage adverts. It's like I was like I smelt it, and it was like yeah, it was. And then the sauce was really spicy, so it was like eating spicy perfume, and I couldn't enjoy it, and it was really hot at the same time.
Okay, so not only you didn't enjoy it, but you found it hotter than the Samyang hot fire chicken and the PALDO.
Yeah. Okay,
that's interesting. This is going to be controversial. The mala.
Okay, that is interesting.
Now with the mala one, it was a lot more of a dry heat, and it was a challenge, but that was because I think I did 3 packs and Freddie was doing 2 packs at the time, and it did claim to be this kind of 4x. We done it on the title as a clickbait, but it wasn't 4 times the heat level of the original Samyang. However, I do find it more. It was notably hotter. But yeah, at the same time, I wouldn't put it up there in like the top 5, let's say. I just think it was just a dry spice.
Okay, moving on to number 7.
Okay, we're getting into the bigger leagues.
My number 7 is actually the PALDO octopus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the funny thing about the octopus PALDO was that obviously it was the second challenge I ever did. And I was kind of...
Fred, is there any
since I only had to do 1 pack of the octopus, it was a big change from the Samyang, where it was just a huge amount of stuff I had to eat. So the octopus I could kind of get through, but I just remember it was so hot. Like, I was stamping my foot against the ground, I was hitting the table. I remember it was just a full body experience because I had to eat all of it, and I had ring sting afterwards. So it was just all the combination of those things plus how much I ate. It just it was hard.
But you complete? Did you complete that one?
I did complete it, and that's what made it so difficult. Well, Josh, what's your 7?
Funny you asked that. My number 7 is the PALDO volcano, like hot noodles.
Yeah.
So that's why I prioritize that more than the mala. I think as well, under circumstance, we did like a 5-minute afterburn. I don't know why we always add to like an extra challenge away from the challenge.
There's a step above.
Yeah, this was quite notably hotter than the original PALDO octopus ramen. I was feeling it. I could hear Freddie like.
Yeah, I was suffering.
Yeah, not screaming, but you know, you can tell by the moaning noises and stuff. Like he was stamping his feet on the ground, etc. I could actually feel it as well. I was trying to hold face, but like, yeah, it was. Yeah, for me, that is a worthy number of the tops. Yeah, it gets number 7 for me.
All right, now we're starting to get into the hot.
Yeah.
Now it's getting hot. But funnily enough, my number 6 is actually the volcano ramen that we did. So the volcano was like, it was just kind of a step up. It was like taking everything we'd done before, and it was saying, now we're in the big leagues. It was like, right, now we're gonna step up the heat. And I remember eating that, and it hit me. I was like, oh wow. And you know, I'd kind of gotten better with my spice at that point. So going back to it, I suddenly realised sort of where this was going, and I realised how hot it was gonna get. So I was like, Jesus Christ. And I remember, yeah, that was bad.
This is the worst.
Now my number 6 is the Samyang 2X.
Oh really?
Yeah. So this was the first kind of, I'd say, new addition of some of the noodles that we've had in the past. So originally we had the Samyang, like hot chicken. Then they released a 2X. So they tried to literally double the Scoville heat units. I think it reached something like 8,708 or 8,808. I'm not too sure. So this was quite a big challenge for myself and Fred. And we done this in the garden. I think as well, did we do 5 packs of that?
We did, yeah.
So again,
yeah,
it was this massive mound. That one was one of the challenges where I was struggling to get get to the bottom of those noodles. I couldn't see the light. It was a lot of wheat, a lot of noodles, literally. Yeah, it was ridiculous actually. And this was the first time I actually had like prickly ears. So that was the first time of reaching to that level. I was actually crying on that challenge. This wasn't something that like once you finish with it, you can just carry on with your day. You needed to have a lie down. I'm sure most of you have done these challenges, been there as well. But
a big package.
But it was completed. But yeah, it was a very big package coming in and coming out. So this is like the poo edition of this video.
PG channel.
Yeah. On the trousers.
Number 5. Now we're getting hot. We're getting to like
top 5.
Top levels.
This is the big leagues.
Big leagues.
This is the one where not everyone finishes these like noodles.
People die.
People die. Rest in peace to those who have.
People die. Right. My top 5, right? Starting with the 4 times mala.
Really?
Actually, yeah. Now.
Nah. No.
Cheers.
To tell you. No.
So the mala, Josh ranked it way higher, right? And I think fair enough. But the mala for me, it wasn't just the fact it was hot. It was just nothing. It was like someone got noodles on their own, just went, let's make them hot. It was dry. It was awful. And it was so hot. It was just, my ears were hurting. I think it was the first time my ears started hurting as well. And it was just a whole body experience of just nothing but heat. And I remember that really stuck with me. And I remember that's probably one of the worst experiences I've had eating noodles.
What's worse, eating these or like potentially giving birth?
Eating these.
For number 5, our most recent challenge, which is the DAEBAK Malaysian noodles, and that could be controversial as well because
that's interesting.
We've put this as like a million Scoville heat units because it's the ghost pepper noodles, and the ghost peppers have the Scoville heat units of up to 1 million. But in terms of maybe it's the quantity, maybe it was just how easy it was to get through that challenge, the flavors, etc. It was manageable. Again, it was out of a noodle cup, so I felt like, yeah, this is a challenge that we can easily surpass. However, considering the quantity that we had, it was powerful. Like, if I had that in a bigger quantity, that might have to be something I'll be like, ooh, maybe I had to do it in 2 halves, maybe, or like, maybe I couldn't do it, who knows.
Yeah.
But that one, considering there was not that much of the noodles there, it was really strong heat.
Funnily enough, they don't even rank on my list.
Ooh, look at me.
Ooh. So now move to the top 4.
Oh yeah.
My 4. Don't look at my list, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your eyes up. My number 4 is the 12,000-SHU. Actually, the 12,000-SHU. It was an interesting one. I thought.
Oh yeah, I just remembered what you did.
I thought I was safe. And I thought, you know what, I was perfecting a strategy, and I thought, you know what, I think I've got this. And I watched different videos of people just going for it. Whoa. I thought, you know what, I can do that. So if you watch me on the video, I just take a mammoth of a bite. It must have been half the bowl.
Yeah, you need to watch him, like, his first bite.
Yeah, and it hit me. And you could see Josh, and it was hitting him. And it seriously hit me, because I had to chew it for a long time. And I was like, in mid-chew. And it was a killer. It was actually, I was in a bit afterwards, and it was hard. So
I knew as soon as he done that first bite, I thought it's game over. I think I watched him eat that first bite, and I was just thinking, he was inhaling it. It wasn't even chewing. It was like, and I was like, oh my god, like that is hot. Like, bearing that in mind, and he had such a big mouthful, and then he started coughing, and you can see like he's coughing whilst he's still got noodles in his mouth, and he's thinking, oh my god, I don't even fucking like swallow this whole. And it was just like, yeah, it was the end for him. All right, my 4.
Right.
Fantastic 4.
DC.
4 of clubs. I'm gonna go.
Gone.
I'm going with the 10x or the 10,000-SHU Samyang.
Okay.
Rightfully so. It's 10,000 Scoville heat units, so that is really hot in itself. So 4 packets we did of these noodles.
Yep.
And I think what Samyang have done, like, they don't change the flavors of these like heat sachets or anything like that. All they do is just amplify the actual heat, the Scoville heat units, and yeah, you just know you could just tell. For me, this is my gauge of the whole thing. Like, I can take it if I've got a burning mouth, burning lips, etc., prickly ears. Then you start to kind of, question what's going on. And then for me, when you start shaking a little bit, you feel a little bit lightheaded, a bit, I don't know, euphoric. Like there's something that's going on outside of your control. That's when you start, it depends what kind of person you are. People could panic at that sort of stage and say no, or you just got to kind of take your time and go for it. But I did the best I could to try and finish 4 packs. I didn't actually end up finishing those.
Look at that face. Look at that face. Top 3.
Podium, right? So who's going to take the bronze?
Who's going to get the bronze medal? For Freddie, the bronze medal, funnily enough, is the ×2 nuclear challenge we did this was our 3rd video, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm ranking these. The good thing about Josh is that he's kind of had the same spice level throughout, since he's really good. Whereas I've got better.
It's the first hit.
At the time, the ×2 nuclear Samyang was like, it was actually bad, but because my body had suddenly taken this huge hit of
What I find with
heat.
these noodles
And you can
is
see in the
that,
video,
like,
I just took
they're
the jug
hot
of
in the
water that was
sense
meant for
that
both of
the mouth
us.
on fire.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was downing
You
it.
get
It-
like
and also,
watery
in case
nose.
you didn't know, it was my birthday. So
And
I
I'm
was
always
thinking
getting the
about my
watery eyes.
birthday and my friends, and I was like,
Powder.
oh!
How selfish.
And I was trying to, yeah, selfish, my birthday.
Where it needs to be, like,
One
so-
day,
Pack for me.
and I was panicking.
I can't do it.
And my mouth was on
Really?
fire, my ears were
I
hurting,
can't.
I was crying, and it was just
too
at
hot.
the time.
Yeah.
I'd say that was
Too much, I'm
I
sorry.
couldn't think of any worse situation. What's your bronze medal?
Bronze, I'm going to give it to 12,000. SAMYANG-SHU, yeah. So you can see where I'm going with this. They were really hot. I don't know whether I was just having a good day and I thought, you know what, because not only did I eat mine, but I think I ate the rest of Freddy's
Yeah.
as well once they cooled off, which is technically not that bad. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, that I knew how strong, because it was the Samyang mini. So it wasn't a lot of noodles in this one. It was a smaller packet.
Yeah,
But the sauce
hot.
that came with it and the power they gave, that was actually immediate prickly ears, runny nose, almost, I don't know if this makes sense, but itchy teeth. It's a weird one where your gums are very irritated, almost like could be inflamed. I don't know what this
maybe.
sauce is doing to us. This could be hazardous. So
We need a doctor.
yeah, we both have to have the same up there.
Well, my silver medal has to go to the 18 plus Japanese ramen. That was just... It was just death in a bowl. It was like... The actual sauce itself was so hot. I actually couldn't believe it. It was like sipping. It was like when you see me at the end of some videos, one sip of that sent me straight to that place. And I remember just trying to eat it. I didn't even get that far. I think I did pretty well. But you could even see Josh, like, drinking it was actually evil.
But my number 2 is the CULLEY'S
Oh, okay.
ramen.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I think this was 1.6. I don't know. Is it the Carolina Reaper?
I think it was 1.6 million.
Yeah. So it was the Carolina Reaper chili. That was part of that, and for me, I thought I could actually finish it the first time that I attempted it. But let me just tell you, this doesn't come with a sauce. It's a chili mash, and I'm not joking. You pierce that packet, and the smell is changing in the whole room. Literally, as soon as we just pierced it with a fork, everyone could smell it. It was like, that was a moment where we were like, no.
Yeah.
That's
dangerous.
been fermenting like for ages. Like, you could just tell this was designed to hurt people. It wasn't like a challenge, oh, let's see if you can do it. This was like, no, we want you to kind of go to hospital or else sort of thing. And they made it clear with the instructions. They're not trying to help at all. So for me, when I first done it, the reason why I gave up was because obviously the way they cooked the noodles, I didn't like that at all. I was getting a lot of heartburn. That's actually what stopped me, the heartburn. Not that it was too hot on my mouth, but I was getting some mad heartburn where it was like indigestion. So that's why I wanted to do a rematch. Did the rematch. I got further with it, but at the same time, it's just the way of cooking it. It wasn't ideal. And I tell you what, like, I was getting anxious. It was just like, because I was having milk with it as well. And there was a point where it was getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And I didn't know how far we were going to go.
Well, look, be honest, if you can't go, stop.
Now,
The
ladies
winner.
and gentlemen.
2019 edition
Gold
of the
medal.
hottest ramen noodles so far for Freddie. What's your verdict?
I've got to give it to Cullley's.
So you're going CULLEY'S for number
I
one.
have to. See, right. I'll try not to say what Josh has already said because I agree with everything he said already. What I will say is that I couldn't even class CULLEY'S as a noodle because of the way it's cooked. It's like, it might as well be raw, and the mash doesn't really create a sauce or a broth. It just creates water swimming with this stuff, and when you eat it, you're not really eating a noodle in sauce. You're eating noodles that have like bits of mash and chili stuck to it, and it just it hits you like a brick. And I didn't get through one mouthful. I stuck it in my mouth and I chewed it, and I knew I'd done something bad. I swallowed it.
Just one bite?
One bite, I'm pretty sure. And I swallowed a little bit, and I knew something was terribly wrong, because my tongue, it wasn't just on fire, it was like an inferno. My whole body was saying, Freddy, stop! And I swallowed it, and even after that, even after one bite later, I had stomach issues. It was death. It was just bad. And my body didn't want it. It was like swallowing Play-Doh.
My number one for 2019
is
the 18 plus.
Really?
Prohibited. Yes. Okay, so there's a reason why. Because, first of all, I'll never forget it. This isn't something that I thought, oh, I can do it though. I feel I can do it. This one is the first packet of noodles. I was like, I wouldn't dare do it again. I wouldn't even attempt it again. Like, if someone said, oh, why do you do a rematch? I wouldn't. I knew immediately what I was dealing with. Now, it was actually smelling really nice. I liked it. It was a curry flavour. Nice. Yeah, so when we got the sachet out, yeah, it was just like, it was almost like a turmeric kind of like powder.
Yellowy.
Yeah, and you pour it in, it smelt fine. Eating the noodles, it was ridiculous. Like, I knew, like, I tell you how you know that I know, is when I go really quiet.
Yeah.
There's no commentary, there's no like, okay, this is what you need to do. I'm not bothered about trying to be entertaining or trying to let you know how it is. I look at Freddie and like,
I'm worried.
Just go, just go. This is one that you have to put your head down and get through it if you want to complete it. When I was eating it, I could feel my heart pinching. I know this sounds really weird, but like, I was getting so anxious. My back was really hot. I was getting very lightheaded. I was struggling to think like how to get through this whole challenge. Surprisingly, I ate the noodles, but then it came to soup. I'm not joking. I had the first sip, and that was like 5 times worse. So I already thought I was like really struggling. Then sipping the broth was like 5 times heavier, and I was just like shortness of breath. And I tell you the point where it was like, no, I actually felt my throat was closing up. No joke. When I was swallowing, I was like my body was saying no more. Right, so there you have it. Our top 10 spiciest ramen noodles of 2019. Thank you for watching. Just to let you know, if you guys want to comment about your top 10 list, or if you disagree what we think, feel free to, comment below, and we'd love to see what you guys think as well.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Press the notification bell to make sure that you get notified of any new videos that have come out. And also, just a quick update, since this is the end of our noodle journey, I know it's sad, we're going to be filming on location now, which means that there's going to be new fresh content coming out, some new adventurous stuff, coming out of our comfort zone. So make sure you subscribe and prepare for that content. And without further ado, I've been Fred.
And I've been Josh. And you've been watching the ultimate top 10 spiciest ramen noodles of 2019. Enjoy.
Let's go.
Do you know what's a shame? That the speaker doesn't fall on us.
I know.
Oh.
Oh.